please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. You're watching Power Breakfast on CNBC TV 18. Now, yesterday back home on Dalal Street, there was a weak session as far as global cues are concerned. Weak rupee cumulatively led to all the stocks tumbling. Higher oil prices as well was a heady cocktail. All the indices ended at the low point of the day. The Nifty breached the 10,700 mark with cuts of about 1%. Similar with the Sensex, about 1% lower, 250 points shed. The Nifty Bank shed about 200 points, while the mid-caps, they saw yet another round of selling. That index tanked about 1.5%, fairly weak advanced decline ratio as well. So how is it likely to pan out today, especially given it is expiry? Let's get in some market opinion from Gautam Sinha Roy of Motilal Oswal AMC on the outlook for the markets going ahead.
Broader markets, while have been holding for a while, right, at a particular level, 10,800, whatever, but the underlying is very different. The sentiment has weakened a lot. If you look at the appetite for mid-caps, both listed as well as the forthcoming IPOs, clearly there are signs that there is a much weaker appetite today than was the case two or 3 months back. Even in the large caps, which are practically holding the market up, we are seeing some sort of flight to safety. Right now, we're not in that position that we are saddled with cash any longer. Anyways, we don't have a very large SIP book. Yes, the problem of plenty in terms of flows is definitely something that the overall industry has dealt with for a while. What it has reflected really in is higher valuations for good stocks that people have wanted to buy, which means only one thing, which means that prospective returns are going to be lower. And to get decent returns, let's say 15% plus returns after having invested at these levels, you will have to be patient. You have to have a horizon of 3 years, 5 years to get those kind of returns.
All right, so that's as far as the market outlook by Gautam Sinha is concerned. But keep an eye out on today's markets. What are the cues that are stacked up? Anisha is with you. Anisha, what are the cues that are there today?
Well, yes, just to recap what happened in trade yesterday, the Nifty closed below 10,700, below the 50-day moving average as well. And actually only 8 or 9 Nifty stocks managed to close in the green. OMCs was the pocket that was coming under a lot of pressure. The stocks are down anywhere between 5 to 10%, while the rupee weakness lended some support to the IT stocks, and they were trading higher. Sensex too down about 400 points from the day's high. But if you look at the cash volumes, well, they don't look very disappointing. The FIIs have a net buy of around 67 crores in the cash market, and the DIIs, they bought around 85 crores. But perhaps ahead of expiry, you can't make much of this. So maybe not too much cue to be taken from the cash volume market. But other than that, if you're looking for the global cues, well, the mother market actually closed with a lot of pressure, because Dow erased 285 point gain and ended around 450 points off the day's high, down around 165 points. The S&P 500 as well as Nasdaq closing down 1% in trade. Now, there was some positive news, because remember, earlier in the afternoon yesterday, we were looking at a Dow future which was down about 200 points. When they started off trade, it recovered very fast, and the reason was that the crackdown on Chinese tech investment by Trump administration was less harsh than what the street was expecting. And that's the reason we saw a rally in the US markets temporarily, but then the technology stocks and the financial stocks came under a bit of pressure, and that's the reason the markets there ended in the red. The European markets ended in the green, but as Mangla was also pointing out earlier, they closed before we saw the reversal in the US markets. Asia today is on the lower side. Nikkei was trading around 1% lower the last time I checked. Kospi as well down about 0.65%. Nikkei down about 0.4% actually. Shanghai down about 0.5%, and HX Nifty for starters was also suggesting a bit of weak start. Local cues for today, of course, it's a day of expiry, and we expect to see a lot of volatility. As of now, we are trading 65 points lower than what we started the series at. Let's see how we close. The mid caps will remain in focus. Remember, yesterday also they were under a bit of pressure, 1.5% lower. But today there is additional margin requirements for 19 stocks, and that might dampen the mood. Not to mention that rupee and Brent still remain a bit elevated. Important levels to watch out for. A support level seen around 10,650. 20-day moving average at around 10,751 is what something we can watch on the upside, Manglam. But get ready for a topsy-turvy ride today as well.
All right, topsy-turvy ride, Anisha. Thanks a lot for that. Individual stocks that you're watching out for?
Well, yes. Today, of course, as I was mentioning earlier, there are additional margin requirement on 19 stocks, and that will definitely be in focus. Names like CESC, GMR, IRB, TV18, Reliance Capital, as well as Walker, IDFC Bank. Just to mention a few names out of the 19 that have been put in the additional margin requirements, so that will be in focus. Other than that, SBI has their AGM today, so let's see what important statements come out of that. Shoppers Stop will be in focus because India Ratings has revised the short-term debt rating to A1 plus versus A1, so it's a bit of upgrade coming in there. Mercator Limited will be in focus because Government of Gujarat has granted them a mining lease for exploiting oil discovery, and this is for a period of 20 years, so that will be in focus. Exide Industries will be in focus because they have signed a JV with a company for manufacturing, assembly and distribution of lithium oil batteries, so just expanding their product portfolio there a bit. Udaipur Cement Works, a board meeting is scheduled for June 30th to consider issue of NCDs or non-convertible debentures up to 200 crores. Fundraising for Capital First as well because they have issued 98 crores via NCD on a private placement basis. And lastly, on HAL, a sentiment dampener because one of their sorties that they had manufactured actually saw a bit of accident, though the pilots were able to eject safely, but maybe a tad bit of dampness is what we might see, Manglam, on that one.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Anisha. With that, we'll step into a short break, come back, we will talk about the GST as it celebrates its first anniversary this weekend. Time now for our special series, the GST 1 year on. Come this weekend, and India's biggest and most important tax reform since independence will be celebrating its first anniversary. Ahead of that, Manish Sisodia, who's Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister and Finance Minister, has questioned the relevance of the integrated GST and has sought its abolition. Meanwhile, West Bengal's Finance Minister Amit Mitra also echoed some of Sisodia's views on IGST, calling the GST structure a horrible mess. Mitra went on to ask the centre what their plan was as far as the deployment of rupees 2 lakh crore under this IGST account was concerned.
अगर देश का 1,81,000 करोड़ रुपया एक तरह से आइडल रखा हुआ है, एक ऐसे अकाउंट में रखा हुआ है जो यूज़ नहीं हो रहा, पैसा यूज़ नहीं हो रहा, वो ना तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास है, ना सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के पास है और ना व्यापारी के पास है. व्यापारी से एक तरह से एडवांस टैक्स के रूप में ले लिया गया है कि IGST इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड एंड इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड एट ऑल.
I want to know what a responsible government is supposed to be doing when you have 2 lakh crores lying in your IGST account. So when we are moving forward, which is what you're asking for, first we have to fix the architecture.
Is this matter going to be taken up? Are you and other finance ministers going to raise the issue of the IGST? Because as Sisodia is pointing out, and you did yourself, this is money lying idle in an escrow account.
Let me correct this a bit. Mr. Sisodia is a very good friend and we all work together in GST Council across political parties. Key point here is this 2 lakh crores was shown in the budget. It's not just an escrow account. It is, you will find it in the budget.
Okay.
Therefore, the basic revenue deficit you're looking at is in fact not correct because this 2 lakh crores is hiding in there. Of course we'll raise it. What happens to IGST? Interstate trade, India is full of interstate trade. There are consuming states, there are producing states, there are semi-consuming, semi-producing states. Now all of them are doing interstate trading or integrated GST.
Okay.
Absolutely shocking when I said it's a mess. Is how do you, we wanted one tax which will move forward and we gave up VAT. We gave up entry tax. Now we end up with IGST not available to our businesses.
All right, so those were some commentary, or rather that was some commentary coming in from Manish Sisodia as well as Amit Mitra. But most wholesale and retail markets were hit hard in the immediate aftermath of the GST being rolled out. As part of our series GST 1 year on, CNBC TV 18's Utkarsh Chaturvedi and Kevin Lee travelled to two of Mumbai's biggest wholesale markets to see how things have changed on the ground. Here's that report.
The idea behind the implementation of GST was, one, to bring more and more people under the new tax regime and also reducing the complexities involved in the current tax structure. Right now, I am at India's biggest wholesale market, Crawford Market in Mumbai, and I am going inside to ask all the middle and small businessmen as how has GST changed their lives in the last 1 year. GST फायदा है 1 साल बाद या नुकसान है?
नहीं, नुकसान ही है ना। ग्राहक भी तो टूट गया ना, ग्राहक ही नहीं है, धंधा ही नहीं।
धंधा कम हो गया?
धंधा ही हो रहा नहीं।
तो क्या दिक्कत है? एक तो आप कह रहे हो धंधा कम हो गया,
हाँ,
और
धंधा कम हो गया, प्लस अभी वो जो एक GST मार रहा है, इसके ऊपर 2% GST मार रहा है कार्ड पेमेंट पे। बैंक ने लेटर दिया 2% लगेगा GST, तो कहाँ से भरेगा कस्टमर 2% देने के लिए तैयार नहीं, और हम लोग तो 1% में।
अच्छा, सरकार का कहना था कि GST लाने से जो टैक्स भरना होगा, 1 नेशन 1 टैक्स, आपको भरने में दिक्कत कम हो जाएगी। क्या GST भरना आसान है इस समय, या पहले जब हम टैक्स भरते थे वो आसान था?
वही आसान था पहला जो था, जैसा जो भरना था। ये तो अभी ऐसा हो गया है कि ये भरने से, ये GST आने से बिजनेस पे इतना जो आ गया इफेक्ट कि जितना बिजनेस था सब पूरा 20% हो गया है इतना।
एक साल बाद 1 से 10 में कितने पॉइंट दोगे आप GST को?
हम तो उसको 0 कर देंगे।
0 कर देंगे
जी,
शुक्रिया।
हमारे लिए इतना लॉस है वो, ये बिजनेस तो हमारा समझ लो कि ख़त्म हो गया।
पेपर वर्क इतना बढ़ गया है ना कि आदमी उसमें उलझ जाता है सुबह शाम तक, और काम होता नहीं है। बिजनेस वाला या धंधा करेगा या वो करेगा।
But there are some people who really believe and are hopeful that there are and will be positives from the goods and services tax.
धंधा कम होने का मतलब मार्केट में पैसा नहीं है सर, ब्लैक का पैसा है नहीं, सब वाइट का पैसा है, इससे वजह धंधा कम हो गया है। जो काम करना पड़ता है अभी, मैन्युअली काम जो करना पड़ता है, उसके लिए उसको तकलीफ है, उसको तकलीफ, बस और कुछ नहीं है।
लोगों ने सालों साल टैक्स की चोरी की, पैसा बचाया और बेहिसाब प्रॉपर्टी बना ली, कोई टैक्स कहीं भरा नहीं। आज थोड़ा सा उसमें से रुपए में से उनको 5 पैसा भरना तो लोगों को खलता है।
I'm standing in Mumbai's Lamington Road market. This market is one of the largest wholesale and retail markets in Mumbai, specifically for electronic goods. Now, when the goods and services tax was rolled out almost exactly a year ago, the problems in this market arose from the 28% rate of GST that was applicable on electronic items. Have those concerns changed and have new concerns arisen? We're here to find out.
नहीं, GST से अच्छा है, हम लोग को बिजनेस पे उल्टा बढ़ा है, घटा नहीं है।
आपको क्यों लगता है कि बढ़ा है?
बढ़ा क्योंकि हमको मालूम गिरता है ना।
नहीं, लेकिन आपको मतलब इसके पीछे रीजन क्या है?
रीजन
लोग और खरीद रहे हैं, उनको अभी लग रहा है कि वाइट में ही ले रहे हैं सामान।
वाइट में मैन तो सामान ले रहे हैं, प्लस उनको सस्ता भी गिर रहा है, पहले महंगा गिर रहा था।
जो प्राइस GST के पहले था और अभी के प्राइस में कितना फर्क है?
अभी ऑलमोस्ट सेम ही चल रहा है। अभी नॉर्मली मतलब जो पहले प्राइस था अभी उसको लेस करके उसके ऊपर GST कर दिया, अभी उस पर कोई एक्स्ट्रा चार्जेस पे नहीं करना पड़ रहा।
Along with GST, there are demonetization. After demonetization, people are reluctant to spend on the electronics item. That is also a reason, and the cost is gone up because of the GST.
CA पे तो थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज पे करना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि पहले ज़्यादा इंक्वायरी नहीं होती थी, पहले से वैट भरना पड़ता था। अभी GST में भी बहुत हर मंथली वाइज पे करना पड़ रहा है, महीना GST, और फिर अभी ई-वे बिल वगैरह आ रहा है, उसके ऊपर भी एक्स्ट्रा पे वगैरह। अभी उसका आगे कुछ ना कुछ अभी गवर्नमेंट करेंगे ही।
It's been a mixed bag as far as Lamington Road is concerned. While majority of the issues arising from an increased rate of GST leading to increased prices seem to have subsided, the bigger issue now for shop owners in this area is the increased cost of compliance and also the e-way bill mechanism, which they're still trying to figure out. All these shop owners are hoping that the government simplifies the GST mechanism, even though it's been a year since it was rolled out. In Mumbai, with Utkarsh Chaturvedi, Kevin Lee.
All right, and do remember to catch our special coverage GST Decoded 1 year on this evening. Finance Secretary Hasmukh Adia along with Finance Ministers of States Thomas Isaac, Manpreet Singh Badal, Mervyn Godino will share their perspectives on the GST in the presence of an august audience comprising of CEOs, CFOs, top tax consultants and economists.